Hello, what's up, family? What's up? So today, we'll be talking about the challenges we face as single parents, the struggles. Hmm? I've I've came to realize there's so many single parents out here, and we are single parents in so many ways, and people have people have been judging us wrongly. Hmm? People have been judging us wrongly. So I would like us to talk about being a single parent. Maybe you are a single mom, you are a single dad, you are a single grandma, you are a single grandpa. What are the challenges, and how did you end up being a single parent? So, um, many of us, uh, some are single parents by divorce or divorcing. Others are single parents by being a widow or a widower. And others are single parents by separation. Others are also single parents by rape. And others are also single parents who decided that they only want kids, no marriage, no husband. Like, they just get kids and live as a single parents. So there's some people who are just okay being a single parent. Some are struggling being a single parent. Okay, now for me, I became a single parent at a very young age. And let me tell you, it has not been easy at all. It has been a journey in the park. In this journey of mine, being a single parent, I've walked through mountains, I've walked through rocks, I've walked through thorns, I've walked through rough roads and maram road, soft road and hard roads. It has been hard, I'm telling you. Imagine being a single parent. You don't have a job. You are living in a rental house. You have to pay that house monthly. You don't have a job. Way it reached to a point where I was like, God, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I'm not able to do it. So I have my spiritual father who always encourages me a lot. And the worst thing is being a parent without knowing how to be one. Imagine you don't know how to be a wife, how to be a mother, and here comes the babies. You don't know how, you don't know what to do, and you won't blame anyone. You won't blame anyone. You have to stand up by yourself and make it happen. Yes, it's hard, but you have to make it happen. Those kids who have brought them into this world, they are so innocent, they don't know anything, so we have to do whatever we have to do to take care of them. Okay, so for me, I became a single parent because of, yani, sometimes parents can make you do things that you don't want to do. So I grew up in a very poor background, and my dad used to be a drunkard. He used to drink a lot. And in our house, we are 4 girls and 1 boy. So the boy is the last born. So my dad, when he was drunk, he could say anything. My dad could say anything out of his mouth, any kind of word. But for me, I forgave him because I knew that this is not him. This is alcohol talking. But now those days when I was a baby, those words used to affect me as a baby. Those words used to affect me. So my dad used to drink a lot. Now the person who was taking care of us at home was my mom. Now you can imagine, mom is here. Mom, the only job mom is doing, these simple jobs, you know, uh, going out there to wash clothes for his friends, or for her friends, or for her boss. And she was also doing a cleaning job that time in one cleaning company that was only paying her 2,500. You can imagine. And at that time, we are living in 2-room house that my mom's supposed to pay 5,000 shillings for rent. Now you can imagine, she's earning 2,500. The house rent is 5,000. We are 4 kids. We are all in school, and those days the school fees was being paid, whether government or private, you have to pay. So mom couldn't afford to do all of that. Yeah, and also remember, there must be food. We must eat. So mom was going through a lot because the only thing dad was doing was to come back home drunk. Now the only person who was the face of the family, the head of the family, now was my mom. You can imagine the way she was struggling. So me, at my young age, I was in class 3. Class 3, you can imagine how old I was. I started doing houseworks so that I can get money to buy my shoes, my uniform, Now I became so mature so early. I became to know life so early. I became so matured so early that even if I could tell you that this is my age and I'm doing all of this, you couldn't believe. So I was going to school at the day, and then at night I was doing housework at my mom's friends' houses. Mom could take me to her friends. I go work like that. I get paid, and that money mom was taking. So I was like helping my mother. I'm the second born in the family, but I've been the strong pillar for my mother since I was little till today. I was the strong pillar to my mom. I could go do housework and help mom with money. And also I was helping myself to buy school things that I needed. I was the clever girl ever in the class. Now because there is a lot of things I was doing, I'm not able to read. It really affected my education. Now I'm done with primary school. Here comes now I'm supposed to go to high school. Where my dad came back drunk. I don't even think he was drunk that day. But I remember telling my dad I would like to go to high school because through ups and downs, through what I was going through, I was able to get good marks to take me to a good high school. But one thing my dad told me, I cannot educate girls because girls will get married and go to their husbands. That's what my father told me. Oh my God. And by the way, he never educated girls. All the education, my mother struggled. My mother struggled all by herself. That made me to get kids early. I became a mom so early because I came to realize even my dad doesn't care so much about my life. So I found myself being a mom. It's a very long story. So the struggles we go through as parents, most of it come from the way we've been brought up. Yani, most of us become parents because of the way we grew up. Maybe poor background, there is no money to take you to school, and you can't just sit there and do nothing, so you just decide, let me get married. And most of us, you get married to a wrong partner. Maybe you get married to someone because you got pregnant for him, not because of love. So when you people come to live together, it's like you're forcing issues, you're forcing things. Now you're just there because of a baby, not because of love. So after some time, you people just decide, let's separate and take good care of our kids separately. And the struggle most of us goes through It's when one of us is not responsible. You find out that one parent is more responsible than the other. Either the man is responsible and the lady is not, or the lady is responsible and the man is not. And you find that the burden lies so much on one shoulder, and that affects a lot. Another thing that affects one being a single parent is when now the kids are growing up. You know, the kids always know there must be a dad and a mom, and now you find out the kids come to realize they only have a mother. And maybe this mom has boys kids. Mom has boys kids. Now these boys, when they grow up, there are some things that they cannot tell their mother, and that's a big challenge. And now you find out also for girls, maybe they're living with their dad. There are some things girls, when they grow up, they cannot tell their dad. So that's also become so challenging to single parents. Yeah, when the girls grew up, there is a lot of changes on their bodies that the dads it will be so complicated for dads to help them. But with the help of God, oh my, God gave me girls, so I've been able to raise them all by myself. And thank God their dad came into the picture recently, and he's really helpful. But I'm telling you, being a single mom, oh my goodness, it's not easy. It's not easy, especially if you're not stable with a good job. It's not easy. You have to pay rent, you have to pay school fees, you have to buy food. You also need to go to work. Sometimes if the kids are so young, you have to look for someone to look at them, and that person must be paid. You understand? So it's not easy at all. So the people out there who are talking bad about single parents, you don't know the story behind them. Like, why are they single parents? So we should not judge them. We're not supposed to judge them without knowing the story behind it. Everybody in this world, every single person has a story to tell. There is no one who had a smooth life. Whether you're rich or poor, there is a story behind you being successful or being where you are today. There is a story behind it. And these stories are the strength that we have every day. It's strengthening us every day to keep moving, to keep doing even more. So if you're out there and you're not married, or you're thinking to get married, please think twice before you step into marriage. Before you decide to bring that child into this world, you must know that you are capable. You are really capable of taking care of them. And you also need to plan yourself, like, How many kids do you really need to have? Make sure before you bring those kids to the world, you have a stable job, you have a good place. Don't just bring them without. That's the mistake we make, most of us single parents. We just bring the kids with when we are still living with our parents. Well, that's the thing, I'm blaming myself, because my first kid came when I was still living with my parents, and I pinched myself so hard that Rita, hmm? That's the mistake we make. Please don't bring those kids when you're still living with your parents. At least finish school first and then get a job, settle down, make sure you have some savings with you, so that when this kid comes, at least you're good to go. Like my little sister always tell me, oh my God, sis, I've seen the way you've struggled with your kids. Hey, I really don't want to bring my kids right now. At least let me get a good job, I settle down, and then now I can bring the kids. And most of all, we should be so prayerful, because God is the only one who knows what will happen or what will not happen. Okay, for those who got the kids in a bad way, like maybe rape or something, may God give you strength, because it's not easy to bring up a baby whom you doesn't know the father. They raped you and they left you, and all of a sudden the baby came. I'd like to encourage you that it is not a mistake. The baby is a blessing. The baby came. There is nothing you can do. What you need to do is just stand up by faith and dedicate that baby to God and help that baby to grow to be a better person. And don't always remind him of how he or she came to the world. That raping thing, don't even mention before them. Just raise them with love and forget it. I know it's not easy to forget, because rape issue is so traumatizing, so it's not easy to get it out of mind. But for the sake of that little gift that you have, try not to mention those kinds of words in front of them. Just raise them. You never know, maybe that kid is a great person tomorrow. Maybe that kid is your miracle tomorrow. Maybe that kid is your blessings tomorrow. It's the great favor God is bringing on your way tomorrow. So in whichever way you are a single parent, in whichever way those baby came, let's appreciate them. Let's love them. Let's take care of them. And let's not always blame others or blaming ourselves for what happened. God who gave you that kid, whether you are expecting or not expecting, He knows the reason why He gave you at that moment, at that particular time. So let's love them. Maybe because I got them when I was so young, I tried crazy things. I was even thinking about abortion. because I was wondering, where am I taking them? Where am I taking these kids? I'm still living with my mom. I don't have a home. I don't have a job. Where am I taking them? I tried crazy things, but let me tell you, God still gave them to me. And if I look at those kids today, and if I look at myself, I just thank God. And I always say, God, please forgive me because of the things I tried. They have grown, they are so big. You can't imagine they can cook, they can clean their clothes. So those kids are blessings to us. I've come to learn a lot through being a single mom. And I will tell you a story how I found myself. Now I became so dedicated mom, and I decided now to travel from one country to another just to take care of them. And it has not been a waste. It has not been a waste. I see them today, I thank God. When I talk to them, I see God's gift. I see God's favor. I see God's blessings. I see God's breakthrough. Those kids made me to do the things I never thought I will ever do. For the first time, back in 2014, so I decided, let me try. People are going to Saudi Arabia to look for jobs. So I told my mom, let me try. I want to travel and get money so that I can take care of my kids. For the first time, I went to Saudi Arabia to do housework. Those days in 2014, 2015, people were dying like shit. The Arabs were killing Africans. And people are so scared to go. But me, I don't know where I got the courage. Even my sister, my younger sister, is the one who helped me with everything. The way we got the passport and everything and found myself in Saudi Arabia, I don't know. So I'll tell you the story, how I went to Saudi Arabia and worked there. If I was able to finish the contract or no. But everything I was going through in Saudi Arabia, every time I think about my kids, I forget about the problem. Every time I think about my kids, I was forgetting everything I was going through, and I continued with my work. When I remember the kids I left back home with my mom, with no food, they need school fees and everything, that thing made me to work even harder. Whatever the Arabs were doing to me, I ignored. I used to go to my room, I cry. Tomorrow I wake up and I continue with the job. The next day after finishing the work, I cry. I call my sister, I cry on the phone, I cry. But when I remember my kids, I keep moving. I get the spirit, I get the strength, and I kept doing my job. So that story, we will continue with it. me being in Saudi Arabia for the first time. We will talk about that. Maybe you want to go in Arab country, maybe you want to try. It's not bad to try. Me, that's all I have to say. It's not bad to try. Till where I've reached today, that those Arab people have molded me to be where I am today. So don't be scared. A lot of things have been said out there because of them, but don't be scared, because every person has their own miracle. God bless you in your own way. God bless everyone's in their own way. So don't think so much about what have been said out there till you're so scared to do what you desire to do. So I went to Saudi Arabia. I went to Saudi Arabia and I worked. I tried. Though I didn't finish the contract. It was so hard for me. I used to cry a lot. I didn't finish the contract. So we will talk about it. We'll talk about that story. Till next time. Till next time. Bye. Bye bye.